YouTube, what the crap's going on? Welcome to a Lizardmen versus Wood Elves matchup. Just real quick, if you are watching this, I'm either right at, maybe above the 230,000 subscriber mark. Whether I am or not, please subscribe. Let's help me get past that milestone, and let's get on that road to 250. Thank you all so much for the huge success that you bring to this channel, and I hope you continue to enjoy the videos. So let's check it out. The Wood Elves have a huge number of Way Watchers here, 4 of them, and they just start wrecking chameleon skinks. And they're going to be able to keep their distance and fire. So the Wood Elves are pretty happy to perch up here on the terrain. They've got a line of Eternal Guard. There's some Wildwood Rangers on either flank, some Azrae's Spear behind the main line, and then some standard Glade Guard, along with a Spell Singer, Lore of Beast, and a Glade Lord. There's a Skink Chief working his way around. But this many Way Watchers, it can spell real trouble for the Lizardmen. That Bastiladon's going to help, though, because it's going to give them a range advantage. Otherwise, the Way Watchers would own the range here, and they are cleaning up chameleon skinks in a hurry. But, I mean, that's ammo you're spending on chameleon skinks. They have to do it, though. I don't disagree that they have to do it, but I'm surprised they're staying in range of the chameleon skinks. So the Way Watchers, I think, even get a buff if they're firing from outside of the range of an enemy. The Glade Guard are shooting at the Skink cohort, and now the Way Watchers are too. They gotta be careful with that ammo. They're gonna need it to kill Bastiladons. I mean, they do have a lot of spear infantry, so maybe not. Maybe not. They may just be going for max damage. Here, the Way Watchers should be able to wear down this Bastiladon with a solar engine. It needs to stay back. Because, I mean, this big of a group of Way Watchers can start to tear down armored dinosaur units in a big hurry, and the closer they get, the faster they tear them down. The Way Watchers are doing some pretty significant damage. Again, they need to back up from the chameleon skinks and stay out of their range, because these are kills that a Wood Elf player just can't afford. Wow, look how quick those cold ones lost it. The solar engine is doing some work. It's got 25 kills, this one's 16 kills. And if they're killing Way Watchers, then they are definitely worthwhile kills. A skirmishy Lizardmen build. You can see it all. There's Mazdamundi and then a Scar Veteran. Ooh, yeah, those solar engines are taking a toll. 55 kills so far. And it looks like it's pretty much all Way Watchers. So it's very worth it. But the chameleon skinks took the worst of it. Here comes some more feral cold ones and a skink cohort in from the flank. Let's see what the Wood Elves do here. They've got a decent amount of ammo left. They've caused a lot of damage, but we'll see whether it was worth it. Ooh, those cold ones. They're gonna make contact here. So one of the Way Watchers is going to pay the price, and then the solar engine's going to get good shots in the meantime. There's a flock of doom to try and pull apart the cold ones, but that was a mistake by the Wood Elf player for sure, getting flanked like that. The cold ones are going to go crazy now. And those solar engines. They're using up a lot of their ammo though too, and there's a lot of armor-piercing anti-large infantry left here, plus some standard Glade Guards. Meet your death. And the Lizardmen are not going to be super well equipped to take down this much anti-large infantry. It's going to be close, though, I think, based on what I'm seeing. Wow, 64 kills on that one solar engine. Nice Doom Flock here. That should help finish the chameleon skinks. I believe those guys have some missile resistance, which makes them even less of a favorable target for the Way Watchers, because they're not armored and they have missile resistance. But, I mean, all in all, a lot of damage caused by the Wood Elves here. See what the Lizardmen are going to do. I mean, they definitely have a ranged advantage. They can sit back and go ahead and expend all their ammo, and they should. This Skink Chief took a beating earlier, apparently, and decided to keep its distance. Man, that solar engine's got a really nice position. It's firing right up this hill, and it's just landing some excellent hits. Some healing coming in from Mazdamundi. Wow. Yeah, those Bastiladons are gonna make the Elves feel it. And they're a decent unit in melee. So they could end up, Mazdamundi's not going to be fantastic in melee. Scar Veteran is better against large, so that is an interesting pick against the Wood Elves. Looks like the Wood Elves are going to move forward. There is a lot, like I said, a lot of anti-large armor piercing here. And the Saurus Warriors and the Skink cohort are really one of the only hopes. We could check out Mazdamundi's magic and see what he's got. Let's see. He's got a little bit of healing, Hand of Glory, Tempest, so he was expecting a flyer from the Wood Elves, but didn't come. Tempest is a very useful spell against that, especially when you have Chameleon Skinks to back it up. I mean, might as well target the Bastiladon at this point. Man, it keeps landing hits. This one's out of ammo at 106 kills. This one has 72 kills. That one's got it's picked up a chevron along the way, and this one 2 chevrons, so it's been worth it. Yeah, these Glade Guard are definitely putting some hurt on the Bastiladon. Let's see what happens. Now the Lizardmen were kind of holding their position, but neither player, in fact, if anything, the Wood Elves may still have the advantage here in terms of range because they have Doomflock. They can Doomflock these Saurus Warriors. And it looks like they're going to hold this. I wouldn't want to hold those Saurus Warriors in reserve because then it allows these infantry to focus all their attention on the dinosaur units. They get bogged down. Yeah, look how quick. Look how quick it's falling apart. And that's with 140 armor. Oh, a banishment, though. Oh, the Lizardman player knew exactly what he was doing. And it's just gruesome. He's going to sacrifice that Bastiladon, but he did some tremendous damage. It's almost like if he would have waited just a little bit longer, though, it may have been even more worth it. And then here comes some more skinks from the forest. So the Lizardman had more left than he let off. Saurus Warriors did indeed take a little bit of damage from Doomflock, but it doesn't look like it was much. Wow. So the Lizardmen opened up that fight with a great shot there from the banishment. These Wildwood Rangers, I would have thought, should be cleaning up on Saurus Warriors, but they're not. Could be their lack of armor. Let's see what happens. Back here in the back, all these Glade Guard and the Spell Singer, they're in trouble. One of the Bastiladon's routes, the Skink Chief is in, taking shots. Scar Veteran's just roaming around, plowing through the lines. There comes a Doomflock. Taking a bit of a toll there. Got some regrouped infantry. Right now it is saying it's all in favor of the Lizardmen. And I would believe it. That banishment was just somewhat brutal. I think the Lizardmen got this one all the way. Yeah, that banishment was definitely a tide turner. Like, I mean, you do that much damage to all that infantry that otherwise had quite a bit of anti-large potential. And then this thing just kind of turned into a zoo here with all the different animals from the Lizardmen. A zoo that the Wood Elves wish that they hadn't visited during petting time. So Romulan Dog takes the Lizardmen to victory there against Kikian Lord. Those Bastiladons got some work done. I honestly think that the Wood Elves are a matchup that are very, very disfavorable against the Lizardmen. That's just my personal opinion. Be curious to see what you all think, but I think it's very disfavorable for the Wood Elves, unless people have figured out builds, because I certainly never had any luck with it to the point where I just pretty much gave up on it. All right, welcome back to the battlefield. We got, looks like Boris riding his Griffin. Got some Flagellants and Great Swords, looks like, in the front line with the Sons of Sigmar. And let's check out the rest of the Empire army here. Looks like some Spearmen and a Grey Wizard. Witch Hunter, interesting. Outriders, Luminarch of Hysh. Empire's going to be pretty hard pressed to deal with the Lizardmen. A couple of Chameleon Skinks up front. Cold One Spear Rider, which is a nice cavalry unit for the price, especially if it's going to be trying to trade with Demigryph Knights. So, a good choice. Front line is 4 Saurus warriors, so not an invincible line, but it's backed up by a Bastillodon and a Stegodon. One has a Skink Priest, Lore of Beast, and then Kroq-Gar astride Grimlock. We haven't seen him around a lot. This guy is one tough nut to crack. Let's get some sweet cinematic views here as Kroq-Gar kind of lazily rides his steed into battle. That's got to be pretty uncomfortable, sitting on a stone chair, riding into battle on a T-Rex that's like bouncing up and down. He's going to have a severe case of hemorrhoids. Here comes the Luminarch. Its target is the Skink Priest, and it lands it. But these guys have a lot of hit points. Luminarch does tremendous damage, but ooh, those chameleon skinks too. And this is going to be risky for Boris. But he feels like he has to do something to help the Luminarch, because when he gets down on the ground and gets poisoned, he certainly doesn't want to get caught by Kroq-Gar, or these Spear Riders for that matter. Another Luminarch hit, solid hit, but I mean, you can see how many hit points there is there. Fortunately, Boris will heal some of the damage that he took. Comes a Doomflock, extended. If he moves out of it, does it keep hurting him? Yeah, it looks like it just keeps going regardless. Well, the animation was going, but I'm not sure if the damage continued. That might be something I want to test. Does anybody know the answer to that? So the main line for the Empire should hold for a while because of the mix of great swords and unbreakable infantry. So the Lizardmen infantry is going to have its work cut out for it, but it's got the benefit of the Bastillodon and the Stegodon. The Stegodon, though, has been taking some shots. Luminarch has to stay protected, and Kroq-Gar is just going to go straight for it. It's going to get hit with an accusation, no doubt. I say that. Nothing yet. Oh, man, that Luminarch's getting torn up. No accusation as of yet. And Kroq-Gar is just determined to hit the Luminarch, but then Boris comes down, and that gets his attention. Ooh, the Spear Rider's coming for the Luminarch. The Luminarch is in serious trouble, but the Skink Priest gets absolutely throttled by accusation. That's where the accusation went. Luminarch of Hysh gets routed. We'll see what happens. If it gets away from the battlefield and kind of loses some of the attention, it may be good. So this flank is going to go to the Empire because of the Outriders absolutely destroying that Stegodon with the accusation, and then the couple of hits from the Luminarch. Somehow Boris gets away alive. Not really sure how that happened with all of these Cold One Spear Riders. Gonna get a Mystifying Miasma here to start tearing down Spear Riders. It's probably a good call. The Outriders are gonna turn their attention probably to either the Spear Riders or Kroq-Gar. Ooh, a nice pendulum. Help clean up some of the Lizardmen infantry, which is winning on the other flank because of the help of the Bastillodon. The Luminarch did come back from routing, and if it gets noticed and used, it could clutch here, but Kroq-Gar has his eye on it. It has a net. Is it going to use it? Oh, the Witch Hunter takes the eye of Kroq-Gar momentarily. It's hard to imagine how Kroq-Gar doesn't just, like, eat him in one bite. Boris is going to come down. No net used on the Luminarch. It seems like it would have had the net. And, yeah, the Luminarch gets wrecked. So, yeah, I'm not sure if they just didn't use the net or what there. But these Outriders are going to pose a significant problem for Kroq-Gar. Boy, he is tossing that Witch Hunter around. He's determined to kill him. But again, the Outriders should be able to deal... Ooh, those Chameleon Skinks, though, are going to be a problem. And then Kroq-Gar actually catches an Outrider. So, big mistake by the Empire here. And the Empire infantry is slowly dying off here. There's a few great swords and some Sigmar's Sons and Flagellants left, and then the Grey Wizard's still running around. Witch Hunter came back on the edge of the map, was able to get an accusation off on Kroq-Gar, so this is going to be a clutch play here. Huge clutch play, and it could swing the whole battle. Because now Kroq-Gar's on the run. He's trying to use Cold-Blooded, but he's under fire from the armor-piercing missiles of the Outriders and being chased by Boris. Though Boris hasn't landed a solid hit on him yet because of Kroq-Gar running around. If it just comes down to Boris versus that Bastillodon plus the Outriders, I think the Bastillodon loses. Yeah, Kroq-Gar's going to be escorted off the battlefield here. The Revivification Crystal was used, but it was too late. He routed. These Chameleon Skinks are going to be potentially a challenge. They're going to have to break the leadership of the Lizardmen here, I think, for the Empire. Kroq-Gar getting moved out by Outriders has got to make any Empire player feel good. The Witch Hunter is standing by, and I think that that really should be the target for the Bastiladon because of his accusation. And then he's also an armor-piercing missile. He's going to do a little bit of damage. It's not going to be crazy, but it's kind of hard to miss the Bastiladon. Just going to sit back and take chunks out of it. So it looks like the Empire turned it around there after what looked like a pretty solid situation for the Lizardmen. We'll see what these Skinks can do. I don't think it's going to be enough just because the Bastiladon got beat up too much. So the Empire is going to turn this one around and take it home. There comes the Mystifying Miasma. Nice use of the Grey Wizard in this fight. The Luminarch got a little bit mismicroed, but it did some damage. And in the end, that damage was enough to help the job get done. He didn't KO a whole bunch of units or anything, but he got the Lizardmen to charge in. He got him to chase it. Landed 3 hits or so, I think, and still worked out in the end. It's pretty interesting to see the Empire be able to pull out a victory in that situation because it's not an easy situation to gain a victory in. Not at all. So, congrats to the Empire player there. Sigma, nice job. And then Energized, fun play from the Lizardmen. So, hope you all enjoyed this one. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you all back soon.